And we're live. Hey guys, welcome to Crypto Talk Now Live. Welcome to actually the first ever CTN Crypto Roundtable. This will be like a show for the ages. Of course, we have myself, we have Max, we have Wadi, and we have Daniel, and of course, your lovable crypto family-friendly dog, Patches, who usually just sleeps. But let's say hello to everybody here, and we're grateful that you guys have joined us. Max, how are you doing this evening?
Been pretty well. Glad to be here. I think we're going to have a great roundtable discussion. And if anything, this is a new thing we're introducing. We're hoping to be able to bring it to you guys live at least once a week. That'd be really, really great. It was awesome to be able to have, for instance, Jeremy, Crypto Realist, yesterday. And look at these two wonderful gentlemen, Wadi, the Crypto Hunter, Daniel Gayton, to say the least. It's going to be a great show. How's everybody else doing here?
I'm doing great, Max and Larry. I'm just happy to be here, happy to participate in this roundtable, happy to hang out with the CTN family. It's going to be a great show.
How about you, Wadi? You doing good?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Thank you for the invite. It's always good to be on screen with you guys and just looking forward to it.
All right, cool. Let's say hello to the audience, and then we're going to talk a little bit about Wadi and Daniel, and then get into the roundtable discussion with Max here. Shaman says, "What's up, good people and the bad people too?" I guess. Okay.
Shaman, you talking about me?
What up,
Lazy Jedi? This is the crypto show you're looking for. No need to be polite to the bad people, Shaman. Bad people make the world go round. Brian Dowie says, "What's up, guys?" And Chaka Crypto says, "What's up, fellas?"
What's going on, Chaka?
Hey, Chaka.
Lazy Jedi. I never see Patches move. When was the last time you checked on Patches? You know, Patches might be actually fake. He could be like part of a green screen. Some people. Well, he's moving now. It's an advanced green screen.
Patches is AI. Yeah.
Crypto Lounge, looking good, guys. Thank you for being here. And welcome, Crypto Lounge. You know, I actually wrote your name on a list. I wrote a list of people I have to start inviting for the show today. And your name, Michael, you can't see it because it's green. How about that? It's a green piece of paper. There's a bunch of people, but Michael from Crypto Lounge, welcome. Let's see here. Just going through the comments. Tim Shea says, "Hey," but this time he says, "Hey," to Lazy Jedi and Brian Dowie. Brian Dowie says, "Lazy, you will catch Patches past wind from time to time." He does do that sometimes. And then that's why I have to turn his microphone off. Tim Shea says, "Larry has been suppressing Patches." Salamander Space. Hello. Que fantastico dia. Que onda mi gente.
Mi
Hopefully
gente.
I'm pronouncing it properly. Gente.
Yeah.
All right. Tim Shea, hey Wadi and Daniel, and hey Salamander. All right, so let us quickly plug these guys real quick. Daniel Gayton is first here. If you guys haven't seen him, I bet 95% of the people probably have seen him before. Our communities are kind of intermingled.
Yeah.
But here he is here, Daniel Gayton, at Daniel Gayton 4628. Now, so we talked last time. You obviously talk about Volt, the ISOs, Alliance Block. You did one on them the other day. That was good. And then a little bit on Shiba, MetaMonkey, I believe. And what else are you talking about these days?
Talking a lot about FTX, and how they're actually affecting the market and what they have going on. So,
okay, cool. All right, and then Wadi, of course, Wadi the Crypto Hunter. Here's his handle at Wadi the Crypto Hunter. So now YouTube has these handles showing up there. That's pretty cool. So he talks about MetaMonkey, and you talked about Pando Project. What else are you talking about these days, Wadi?
Well, I also talk about FTX. Today I was talking about crypto scam like OneCoin, which is still going around. And that's pretty much it. MetaMonkey is one of the strong suit. Bolt is the other one. And that's that.
You know, I'm going to just do this real quick. A good segue for Volt. I want to thank the Volt community, the Volt Army, because they grabbed my short right here and it's got almost 300 likes or loves, whatever, and 174 retweets. They also retweeted my original tweet, so that's really cool. So thank you. If anybody is part of the Volt Army, I think we're all part of the Volt Army, even Patches.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you to the Volt Army for that. Now let's, without any further ado, let's toss it over to Max. Max, what's the first topic for this evening?
Well, you know, we need to basically just recognize a few things. So there's an article that recently came out. Nothing boring or anything like that, but check this out. So, for instance, this right here, shout out to Bitcoin.com to say the least. It talks about today's biggest movers, right? So you got Doge, it says link, and it says fall to, basically 10-day lows on Wednesday. Is an opportunity to snatch some of this up. Some people basically feel as though that we're, not at the bottom. It's kind of hard to catch the bottom. Sometimes it's more easier to catch what, maybe towards the all-time highs and stuff like that. But if anything, it mentions, for instance, on December 7th, which is today, by the way, the I believe it's the 82nd, if I'm not mistaken, 82nd anniversary, of or 81st. Anyway, Pearl Harbor Day. Are you kidding me, guys? Anyway, December 7th, 1941. Anyway, Dogecoin fell to a 10-day low today, as like it says, the meme coin extended a recent decline, falling for a third consecutive session. Overall, cryptocurrency markets have been mostly bearish in today's session and are down, of course, 1% of the writing. In regards to Chainlink, that was also down as well, 5%. That one, of course, I think, if not mistaken, might also be top 25, top 20 in that range. Here's some more data in regards to that, right? But one thing I also wanted to point out was in regards to all this, is this right here. And it was posted earlier on USA Today, basically. I'm going to blow this up just a little bit. So it's kind of like what you see right here. Dogecoin fan Elon Musk no longer world's richest person. And if anything, it's like, well, there's some factors in regards to that. So for one, the whole thing that's going on with Twitter, he's basically stated, for the record, he wants to go quote unquote hardcore, if you will. And, while we're rooting as a fellow cryptocurrency or Dogecoin advocate and so on, for things to go well for him, there's some people that want to see, unfortunately, a blip in his record. So while all this stuff is going on, I'm saying to myself, I still think it's buying opportunities. I don't personally see us going back down to 5 cents for the likes of Dogecoin. Could happen if something drops significantly, but that is where I'm going to have the next segue, if you will, before I kick it into the actual question. I do want to point out, for instance, Elon Musk is no longer the richest man in the world, right? He's just slightly under this particular French fashion tycoon, who's Bernard Arnault. But with that said, I'm going to go ahead and unshare this, and I think, if anything, whoever wants to grab this first. So how do you guys feel about this whole thing? Are you into Dogecoin? Do you hold any Dogecoin? Do you feel as though, Max, I'm not into Dogecoin, but, if anything, I hold Shiba Inu. I'm not into that either, Max. I know you're a, Shiba Inu diamond hander or whatever, but for me, it's just strictly, as Larry would say, the last great meme coin is Volt. Who wants to take it? Who wants to start? Let's kick it in.
I'll start it off.
Oh, go ahead, Wadi.
Yep. Go ahead, man. Age before beauty.
Then that means you gotta go first, right?
Yeah, me with this gray beard, right? I need to get my age going anyway.
I'll take it. I don't see Doge going back down to 5 cents either. Not since Elon bought Twitter. I think there's a lot that's going on there. I do hold Doge. I hold a little bit. I think it does have some more downward movement in it right now. Shiba Inu, I diamond hold some SHIB. I sold off a lot before, it's one of them ones that I think it just looks good in my bag. So I kind of keep it there with a hope and a dream, right? But Volt, I believe is probably the next SHIB. With everything that they got going on, they have the possibility to be that. So I think the upside for Doge really rests on Elon Musk, right? Because now there's rumors of a Twitter coin coming out, Twitter token coming out, right? So
Yep.
what does that do to Doge, right? So I think we gotta, that's gonna play a part in that. And Shiba Inu, I made a video the other day. They need to get their act together. They need to get Shibarium out. They need to get it moving. Or people are gonna start passing them by, because they have no utility right now. So, but Volt, I believe, is setting itself up to be that next catalyst, that next meme token. I don't think there's a lot of meme tokens out there that can make a run, like Sheeb and Doge did. And I think Volt's probably, the only meme one that can right now. I just don't think the other tokens have that run in them. But that's just my thought. And as far as Elon not being the richest man in the world anymore, that's fine with me. I'll still take his money.
Before we get Wadi to chime in, let's just say a little more people here that came. Jason Rodriguez, what's up, Uncle Wadi?
What up, Jason?
Mercy Boy, what's up, Uncle Wadi?
What up, Mercy Boy? I'm getting nephews nowadays, and I'm not even rich yet.
There you go. Tamos Lit Records. By the way, all you guys are new here, and I believe they're coming from Wadi and Daniel's community. But Tamos Lit Records, haven't seen you before. Dino LFG coin. Have you guys heard of it? Have you guys heard of that one?
No.
Hello to Keltra. Haven't seen you here before. Welcome. She says hello, everyone. And oh, geez, we're feeling sorry for Elon now because he's not the richest guy in the world anymore. Brian.
Oh no,
Brian Dowdy says
again.
Twitter's going to use XRP for payments. So there's a good one there. So we'll get Wadi to chime in on what Max was referring to, and then I want to follow up. I'll have the last word on this Doge thing because I want to tie it together with XRP and also the Twitter coin possibly. But what are your thoughts, Wadi?
Well, see, this is my thing. I feel that Doge eventually, just because of the fact that once upon a time, Ellen said he wants to see it being the top number one cryptocurrency. I mean, technically speaking, kind of impossible, especially with the whole fact that Bitcoin is king. But being Elon Musk and the power and the influence that he has, can he get it at least to be the second most powerful crypto? Yes, big possibility. Now, the talk about Twitter coin, that's something that it really should be interesting. And then it makes you question, where does that lead Dogecoin? As far as Shiba Inu, I kind of backed off from it, but I am curious because how come there's whales, and I'm talking about spending 70 million and up on a coin that supposedly is not going to do anything. So that's the part where, you know how they say follow the whales? Well, if they're moving that much money into Shiba Inu, it must be for a reason. When would it happen? That's the one thing that no one knows. So, not financial advice, obviously, but yeah, keeping an eye or keeping a bag of Shiba Inu is not a bad idea. As far as Bolt Inu, like Daniel, I actually said, if there is one coin out there that has a chance to repeat the story of shit, I'm seeing it with the Bolt community.
Yeah, I agree with that with Volt. I want to chime in myself with Brian Dowie, kind of piggyback off of what he said. Twitter's going to use XRP for payments. So you got three balls kind of juggling in the air. You got the Twitter coin, you got Doge, and you got XRP. So the Twitter coin is really an interesting one. Maybe it'll be more of like a high-end, higher value one, a shorter supply is what I mean, kind of like a quant or a Bitcoin for Twitter, almost like as if you kind of envision them being in the Twitter ecosystem, almost like you got the Twitter coin, you got XRP, maybe they'll use XLM too, and then you've got Doge, of course, but maybe Doge will be like the cheaper option for tips and stuff like that for influencers on Twitter, content creators. But yeah, it's. I think that, Doge, there's a special place in Elon's heart, so to speak, for Doge. So I think that it's going to be okay. As far as it getting back down to 5 cents, it was kind of my hope. I went down to 5 cents and I didn't buy more of it. It was one of my, so Doge and Shiba Inu I did good with last year. I don't have very much of either one of those anymore. But I think if I had to pick one between the two, I'd more likely go after probably Doge just because of Elon, because he has more control over what it does. But Shiba Inu it just frustrates me. I love Shiba Inu, but it frustrates me. I think Shibarium should have already come out. Now I'm starting to think they're like kind of like playing poker with it. Like they already have it developed and they're just waiting for the bull run. And then Volt, I'm bullish on Volt. I wish I had more of it. At some point, if it dips, I'll probably dollar cost average into it. I do believe that it is the last great meme coin. I know it's a token. I think it has the best shot because of the community. That's it. Because it's so strong. So I'm going to just say hello to the rest of the audience here because I don't want to leave out anybody, and then we're going to kick it back to Max.
Sounds good.
But yeah, so my button stick. Never bought any Doge. Okay, yeah. So
oh no, and I was just before we'll kick it back to Max is as far as Elon, he'll be okay. I mean, think about the new Twitter business that he just owned. And $8 a month, comparing to, let's say, if 1 million user is giving him $8 a month, that's a very good way. So he should be back up in no time, back to being the top richest man.
Richest guy.
Yeah. Just saying, though.
I have my check mark.
Oh,
yeah, I have to do that for Twitter. I didn't try that.
You have to have iOS.
If you have Android, don't bother. I tried. Hasn't come out yet.
Welcome to Mr. Lambo's Crypto Talk. We're going to keep going here and make sure I didn't miss anybody. I want to get everyone involved. He's vaulted. Jay Robbins, haven't seen you here before. Shout out to you, my friend, part of the Volt Army, obviously. Tim Shea is Mercy Boy like City Boy. Jay, you guys in on DQST coin, drag queen story time coin. No, I'm not in that one. Interesting name though.
No, good on that one.
Crypto Lounge. I'm thinking Elon will be okay. He's still loaded. Welcome to Michael Montclair. Says hello, guys and gals. Please, guys, hit the like button if you would while you're here. Volted Facts. Sweet Caroline. Haven't seen you here before. Sweet Caroline E. What's up, guys? Jay Robbins. Volt change is a game changer. Who's not too sweet, but it's also named Caroline, is Sammy's whatever she is. Girlfriend, I guess. Tim Shea, Uncle Wadi, thanks for the financial advice. Do your own research. Michael Montclair, yeah, but if Tether gets destroyed, will it affect coins like Volt? I don't think so. I don't think that it'll have a trickle down effect on Tether, but Tether might be in trouble. It might depeg. Jay Robbins, Volt, is it trying to compete like you think, or is it trying to? We are bringing the people and crypto together. Volt will not go anywhere. Brian Dowie. If Tether gets destroyed, it will crash most coins. Jay Robbins, we have a mechanism that burns other projects' tokens on a decentralized exchange. Michael Montclair, or exchanges like Hotbit and Ethereum or Tether. All right, I'm going to mark this right here and kick it back to Max. We'll just say hello to two more people. Savage, 100x, get volted. And Salamander in space. As long as we can eat rice and beans, we will survive. Okay. Back
Well,
to you, Max.
Yeah, as long as we eat rice and beans, we'll survive. That's pretty much the theme here for a lot of people who live here in Phoenix. I mean, everywhere you go, I mean, we got food trucks and so on. Taco Tuesday is a big thing here. So, anyway, we were talking earlier about the whole concept of, for instance, whether it's the Twitter coin or it would be Dogecoin as a form of payment. Heck, I even saw, for instance, Brian Dowie, shout out to Brian Dowie, mentioned, the likes of XRP and so on. Now, while I realize that this is a panel discussion, I don't want to do too many like video clips and so on. In fact, I probably will only do one. This one is only about a minute and a half, but it's in relation to what we're talking about. And specifically speaking, I actually did kind of like a video more in depth on this particular one. But here's something I want to show you guys. And if anything, we are going to listen to this brief clip. It's about a minute or so. But you're going to hear specifically from, because Larry did mention the guy or mention Quant at one point during this discussion. So it's in relation to what Quant can bring to the table, if you will, when it comes to Twitter. Again, this one's about a minute, about a minute and a half. He mentions multiple times specifically Twitter. Let's talk about it shortly after this particular clip. And if anything, I want our audience to chime in on what you think in regards to what Gilbert Verdian, CEO of Quant, has to say in regards to Twitter. Here we go.
Is securing streaming data processes. You think about all the data that Twitter produces every second. Well, how do you secure that? How do you put that on a distributed ledger technology? You have to rethink the entire architecture.
Ways to do payments using an existing platform like Twitter.
An example with Twitter, my view is that that's going to be a payment system. It's undergoing a lot of turmoil right now, and we all know why. And
Gilbert talked about is about compatibility. How do we make solutions that are compatible to existing data management solutions that developers are currently using?
Transactions or financial services that leverage that network connectivity, the human side. So I think where we're seeing things evolving is that mass explosion of new types of digital assets, new types of money, and the new types of human-to-human transactions or business-to-business transactions. If you look at what's happening, I mean, just an example with Twitter, my view is that's going to be a payment system. It's undergoing a lot of turmoil right now, and we all know why. And but I think that's kind of the start of a new human-to-human ways to do payments using an existing platform like Twitter. So having that connected to bank systems, to central bank digital currency systems, peer-to-peer systems, we're going to have a new type of world. It's very hyper-connected. So I think 23 is the start of that.
Yeah, 2023 is the start of it. But think about the multiple times in these particular interviews, he mentions specifically Twitter, a payment system, what they can accomplish in regards to that. He mentions specifically CBDCs could be tied into it, whether you're a fan of CBDCs and so on. My thing is this, and whoever wants to take this first, you're more than welcome to do so. We talk about the likes of XRP here on the show quite often. We do recorded, live, you name it, right? Like, I guess you could say, if anything, we got a reputation of being like the ISO show, if you will. So you hear all these things, for instance, that are brought to the table. Heck, he's even doing it at his own panel discussion, if you will. My thing is this: when we talk about XRP, they basically have created the rails, as this expression has been used, right? And if anything, you heard the expression, the XRP train is about to leave the station, and those rails, they're very, dependable. No one ever talks about, for instance, the rails that we use all across the United States and the world and whatnot. But if anything, those rails make it just that much more significant. They work, they're very dependable, and so on. My thing is this, and of course, I want to kick it into whoever wants to grab this. A lot of times, not necessarily with crypto or anything, it's not necessarily about, who was first to come to the table, or, we're putting all this attention, for instance, on the likes of Dogecoin. Will it be Doge? Will it be the Twitter coin? Will it be this? Kind of like the old saying goes, it's not about who is mining gold. It's the ones who are selling the tools, the picks, the shovels, those types of things, right? And that's the way I look at the likes of, for instance, XRP. That's the way, Quant and so on. How do you guys feel about it? Is this going to be something that flies under the radar? Do they get this done? Because for me personally, the likes of Gilbert Verdin, all he has to do is just easily reach out to the likes of Elon Musk. They get this thing done. But who will it be? And will it even matter if Quant doesn't get the quote unquote praise and glory because they're the ones that made everything interoperable? Go ahead.
I'll take it first because I have a bigger view of Twitter than this, and I think this is where Quant plays a big, huge role in where Elon's trying to take Twitter. If you go overseas, you have apps that are called super apps, right? They're called super apps. You do everything inside of them, from booking your transportation to ordering your food to your social interactions like Twitter and things like that. They're called a super app, right? Elon knows about these apps because he spends a lot of time overseas, and I think that's exactly where Twitter's going. You're going to use Twitter to book your hotel rooms. You're going to use Twitter to book your cars. You're going to use Twitter to book your travel, and you're going to use Twitter to tweet, right? So I believe that Quant's going to play a very big role in that, just because of the connectivity that they're going to have to pull all that off. And Quant is going to make that connectivity happen in between all the different players in the game. So whether it's XRP, whether it's Twitter coin, whether it's Dogecoin, whether it's CBDC, at the end of the day, Quant's going to be in the middle of all that. And I think that's where they're going to play their role with Twitter. And I think that's why you hear Quant talk about Twitter so much, because he knows the super apps coming, and he knows that he's going to play the centralized role in the facilitation of that. So, and Elon knows where he wants to take it. We talk about the Twitter coin as well. I can see that very well being Twitter stablecoin, being pegged to something. I think there's a lot of bigger things at play, and we talk about them on a macro level. But when you talk about them on a big, huge level of where the thing is actually going, I think that's where you can see Quant really sitting in the center of all that.
Yeah, absolutely.
If that makes any sense. That's a long-winded explanation.
No, we want. Hey, you know what? It's totally fine, because if anything, I mean, it's not just this. I'm not even saying it's long-winded. If anything, it creates more of that debate, if you will. It's more of the sharing. Here's the reasons for it, and so on. How about you, Wadi? How do you feel about this? Does you feel as though Quant is going to be a big player in it, being connecting everything? Everybody's putting the focus on it's got to be Doge, it's got to be a Twitter coin, but in reality, what about the technology that's behind it? Is it Quant?
Well, what I honestly feel is that maybe they do want to be a big part of it. So now, what would it take in order for them to be part of it? That's the bigger question. But what I'm understanding also, as far as Elon, I don't think he's gonna want to go for a coin that it's already overpriced. Well, not really overpriced, but it is pretty expensive for the average people. So I think that maybe he's gonna start with something small, something like Dogecoin. XRP is still affordable. Or if he does create the Twitter coin, then why not make it affordable, and within time, actually, it could be something like the next Bitcoin. It don't necessarily got to be a stable coin, just in my opinion.
And the only reason that I think that it's a possibility that it can be a stable coin is because I think Elon's going to want that to be the payment mechanism.
I'll tell you what, I hadn't thought about that before. The idea of the Twitter coin being a stable coin, although like a real stable coin, not like an unstable stable coin.
Yeah.
I still got to get that shirt made, but I think that's an excellent idea. But they could kind of kick it up a notch and like really peg it to something like gold or silver, and that way people would have a lot of faith in it. And it can be like Elon one-upping the current stable coins that are out there by making it like super, super stable. And then I think a lot of people will not only look at Twitter as a platform for information or social media, but also as like a payment system. a place where they can go and transfer payments to people, securely. It might give a little bit of peace of mind for people. But what are your thoughts on that, Max? You think that there's a chance that Twitter could be like a stable coin, the Twitter coin?
I think it's very, very likely. I mean, you also got to keep them in mind, these people's backgrounds, right? So for instance, Elon Musk, right? Remember his PayPal background, right? And if anything, if you look more into Quant, right, with all their partnerships and so on, they even have PayPal as part of that particular list and so on. You also got to keep in mind Gilbert Verdi and his background with MasterCard. So I mean, it's more than just payment API or the APIs. You have the legacy systems. You have it's when we say everything, it literally is just that. And if anything else, I mean, how about this? Like they mentioned 3 lines of code, to say the least. I saw that, for instance, we have this super chat, so I'll go ahead and let you recognize that. We definitely want to go ahead and recognize that. Thank you so much, Savage 100X, apparently from the Volt Army. We did go ahead and tag the Volt Army today, and if anything, I'll say this: shout out to Larry for putting out the tweet and also doing the shorts and so on. I said to myself, and you guys know me, especially the ones that have been following Crypto Talk now for a while, I'm not the biggest person when it comes to meme coins. I was last year, and my stance was earlier this year. I didn't get into any meme coins. One of the last ones I think I did was Volt. I was literally telling Larry, I said to myself, you know what? These guys have a very, very passionate and powerful community. We mentioned the likes of, for instance, the Elon coin, right? Doge from Mars, right? But there's a night and day difference. I'm not bashing on Doge from Mars, but there is totally a night and day difference. The Volt Army it's really, really something else. And if anything, that's where I love that Larry basically posted the whole thing of the last great meme token. If we could bring up the super chat again real quick. Yeah, I want to go ahead and thank you for the $10 super chat, Savage 100X. Obviously, you're very passionate about Volt and so on. He says, speak on Volt Inu's recent NASDAQ interview. I remember. Go ahead.
I can tell you, Volt Inu's last NASDAQ interview, the only NASDAQ interview, actually, not last, only, with Pablo Crow and a couple of the other guys went really. I watched it. It looked like it went really well. It looked like they were really well received. They went right up to NASDAQ. They did an interview with NASDAQ. They explained Volt. They explained the Volti change. They explained everything that Volt had going on. They talked a lot about the community. It looked like they were the NASDAQ folks were completely engaged, and looked like it was very well received. I thought that was big to go up there and talk to not cryptocurrency people, but actually investors in the stock market. So I think that was Volt taking a step outside of just the cryptocurrency realm to possibly expand their base. And I thought that was great. And I thank you for the super chat too, because the Volt Army always shows up, and just another example of the community.
Yeah, I'm going to say this, that I saw the interview the other day. I did make a video reviewing it, but the audio was messed up. So I'll have to hopefully try again tomorrow. Talking about the Pablo Crow interview and the other gentleman that were with him. It kind of prompted me to make this. It was kind of like an eye-opener to me, because I was like, this could be the last great meme coin or token. I'm going to play this little short for you, and I think we ought to play the interview as a thank you for the super chat, and then we can kind of discuss the interview. I'm talking about the Pablo Crow interview for NASDAQ. I'll play this one first, this quick short here. And thank you again to the Volt Army that retweeted this and liked it so much. So appreciate that. Volt Inu, is it the last great meme coin? I know you guys are out there saying that it's not. Come on, Larry, it's not a coin, it's a token. Yes, I know it doesn't have its own blockchain. Let me just say this. Volt Inu has been doing some amazing things. Amazing things. Listed on over 95 exchanges, soon to be 100 exchanges before the end of the year. I'm listening to you guys. I've been a holder of Volt for a long time, and I will say this: I'm very impressed with everything that's been going on. It's been quite an amazing run, and watch out, guys, for Volt Inu during the next bull run. It's going to be quite something to see. You know, and then this network here, our network here, CTN network, has a parallel to Volt because we didn't have our live show during the bull run. And, you know, Volt is being built during the bear market, just like we are on the network here. So watch out when the bull run happens. Now I'm going to try to pull up that interview here for Pablo Crow. But yeah, you guys think that you guys are bullish on, everybody here is in the Volt army, but I just look at it as this community really stands out to me. Like I haven't seen this in a long time. And Shiba Inu is just kind of like, to me, it's just kind of flat. You know, maybe it's exciting inside the community, but it just hasn't excited me anymore. You know, there's a lot of Voltoshi said 100 exchanges by the end of the year, and you know, they're 5 away. So I mean, he's kind of kept on task with everything.
And I don't always plug my own channel because I don't do this, but I put a video out 3 months ago why Volt was the new SHIB. And if you get a chance, go watch it because I can, you know, they were right on SHIB's trajectory to be the next SHIB. Called it 3 months ago. You could just, there's something different. You could just feel it. It's just different.
It's the energy and stuff like that you feel. I'm just looking to see if I can find that video. I must be.
You know, while you're trying to find that, Larry, I do want to chime in and say something in regards to that. You know, and if anything, I also want to hear from Wadi as well. But you know, my thing is this. All right, so let's talk about briefly that whole NASDAQ interview. And you know, like Daniel pointed out, it wasn't that it was the last NASDAQ interview. It was the only one. So on, and you know, I don't mean that in a bad way, right? We just, you know, want to recognize what really happened and so on. But here's the thing. All right, when it comes to that particular interview, think about what we're trying to accomplish in crypto. What we're trying to accomplish in crypto, especially, you know, as retail investors and so on, is to get more adoption into just what crypto. And if anything, when Daniel pointed out, for instance, you know, they're at NASDAQ and so on, you're getting a lot of people are just, all they know is stocks. They don't know about, they heard about crypto. They might know just, you know, oh, you know, the typical thing. Oh yeah, I don't know. I heard of Bitcoin. I heard of maybe Shiba Inu and stuff like that. I heard there's this dog thing called Doge, and possibly they heard of Ethereum. But I mean, it's usually that's the general consensus. So for Volt to be present there, right, in the mix of a lot of these people and so on, if anything, they can explain what they're all about, and you know, the power in numbers, community, and things like that. Where in a lot of cases, let's face it, people were in stocks. Are you kidding me? You really think there's going to be like a really powerful stock community? I mean, some cases like maybe Apple, Tesla stock people, but I mean, do you really see these people in these blue chip stocks, if you will, the Teslas, the Apples, and so on, getting together, being a passionate community to, you know, be a driving force, if you will? I don't. So for them to be there, Pablo Crow and all these other guys and so on, I think it's huge because, again, think about what we're trying to accomplish. We want more of that adoption. And if anything, as you would say, Larry, that was their segue, and that is tremendous.
Yep.
I've got the video up here. This is courtesy of Pablo Crow, new to the street, the NASDAQ interview here. I'm going to go ahead and play that, and then we'll get everyone's reaction to it, and we'll see how it goes here.
Oh, you might have a little bit of echo. When you're playing your short earlier, it was doing a tremendous amount of, yeah, so maybe you might want to just tune that down on your end.
I'm gonna turn my volume off in a second here.
Okay.
Volt was launched in December of 2021 with the purpose of becoming a one-stop shop offering DeFi products while bringing profits back to the native token to support its deflationary purpose. And with me is Pablo Crow, Ozzy, and Power Right with Volt. And I'll just ask questions. You guys kind of chime in a little bit if you want. So what separates Volt from some other crypto projects?
Well, first of all, my honest opinion, as you know, as an investor myself, Volt was created in the bear market, which a lot of projects are created in the bull market, and they have a little pump, right? And by the time the bear market kicks in, they tend to die. So I believe that getting built in the bear market is the most efficient to go long term.
Yeah, guys, we apologize about the choppiness of that.
So that kind of gave you, I don't know, some extra incentive to work
Is it choppy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty bad. It's brutal.
Well, it might be
If
something
you
going on with
hold on a
StreamYard
second,
then.
Volt Enu interview. I'll try to share it on my end since I have a direct connect. I don't mean that a bad way, my friend, but let me
No,
try to
it's
go ahead and share that real quick, just so it's a little bit more clear. Volt Enu.
You know, it's funny. It's playing very clear over on my end, so I'm not
Yeah,
seeing
no,
that at all.
you
but I'm
won't
glad
see
you-
it because
No,
you're on your
it
local.
happens
Yeah.
regardless.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like let's say for example, if you're streaming from another stream and checking it out, if it would have been a straight video, probably not. But at times, even with a straight video, it still happens.
Well, I'm just looking at the difference between wireless and and hard connect. I'm sorry about that. So
Yeah, that was pretty choppy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's what happened was I moved my studio from downstairs to upstairs, so I got to get the guys from Spectrum to hardwire it upstairs here. That's what's going on. Let's say hello to some people while Max is bringing it up. Thank you again to Savage 100X from the Volt Army. Thank you. Times is here. Welcome to all the new people that are here. Imagine this space. By the way, guys, we're here every night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Max and Larry show, Crypto Talk Now live. And now every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to have a crypto roundtable. Of course, we have special guests here. We have Wadi, the crypto hunter, and Daniel Gayton. Dimes, imagine the space. We are all in the same room virtually in a virtual body. Shaman says, since AI can network, there won't be AI. There will be an AI. Jay Robbins is here. Shout out to Alpha Lion Crypto Volt. Another Volt Army member, Abdul Aziz Al Sharan. Hopefully, I'm saying your name properly. Apologize if I made a mistake.
Abdulaziz Al-Shatan.
All right. Dime, Shaman AI will be the death of us. Facts and facts. Shout out to someone else new, Nor Yell. These must be a bunch of people coming in from Volt. Volt is the next one, period. Don't sleep on it, Larry. Do not sleep. Michael Montclair. I bought in very early in Volt. He's volted. One question: who the heck is Voltoshi? Volt for life. Well, you know he's
Elon.
He's the mastermind. Yeah, we don't know who he is, but he's the mastermind.
I don't
know. And we're going to be talking about that here in a little bit after we get into a few more comments, specifically about the whole Voltoshi thing. It's a good thing, if anything. I want to definitely get back to that in more of our conversation.
Let me know when you're ready to go, Max. Jay Robbins, Voltoshi always delivers. 96 central exchanges in the bear market. Who does that?
Yeah, I'm ready to go. What I was going to say is, I didn't mean to cut you off. What I was going to say is, I do want to recognize another super chat. So if you could save your spot where you're at, I'm going to go ahead and highlight this particular one whenever you're ready.
All right.
All right. So shout out to this particular individual who is Abdulaziz Al-Sharan. And he's sent, for instance, 10 from AED's currency. Thank you for talking about Volino. You're very welcome. Thank you for being here tonight. Nice picture of yourself and your child. That is really cool. We're always telling people, of course, if they're new, to basically change their avatar. Something speaks more about who they are and where they're from and what they're all about. You already did it. So, guys, I want to go ahead and welcome, of course, a lot of the Volt Army people who chose to join us here tonight at CTN. And then thank you once again for that particular super chat. We're going to get back into, for instance, this particular interview. I'm just going to see. Let me know, guys, if it's clear or if it's choppy. We're going to go ahead and try to share this one more time for you guys, especially for maybe the newcomers or people who don't know about Volt, for instance. Here's this particular interview. And if anything, after this, we're going to talk briefly about what we saw in this particular NASDAQ, interview clip and so on. But I also want to talk about with these guys here, Daniel, and also, for instance, Wadi and even Larry, when it comes to the whole thing of, Voltoshi, if you will, and so on. It's a good thing. It's not FUD or anything like that. Here we go. And then we'll come back here in a little bit.
Turn it up a little bit, Max.
December of 2021 with the purpose of becoming a one-stop shop offering DeFi products while bringing profits back to the native token to support its deflationary purpose. And with me is Pablo Crow, Ozzy, and Power Right with Volt. And I'll just ask questions. You guys kind of chime in a little bit if you want. So what separates Volt from some other crypto projects?
Well, first of all, my honest opinion, as you know, as an investor myself, Volt was created in the bear market, which a lot of projects are created in the bull market, and they have a little pump, right? And by the time the bear market kicks in, they tend to die. So I believe that getting built in the bear market is the most efficient to go long term. Therefore, it separates us from the rest.
Okay, so that kind of gave you, I don't know, some extra incentive to work hard and to build this in a bear market to make sure that you weren't trying to jump on the hype, I guess.
Definitely.
Exactly.
It gave us a lot of time to, especially in a bear market, you have a lot of time to work, a lot of time to build, build, whether it be partnerships, sponsorships, globally, internationally, right? During a bull run, it's very hard to do that because there's a lot of news coming out, there's a lot of information coming out, a lot of investors coming out. So it doesn't give you too much time to act, right? In a bear market, you have a lot of time. You can build, you can reach out to different investors globally, internationally, right? And building our community. When you mention what separates us from other tokens, it's our community. Having a very strong community to push a vision to a level where our developing team wants to see. So it's been really great for us.
Yeah. And what is the strength of Volt?
I would say the strength of Volt, to me, is really the dynamic and energetic community, right? From since the start, since the beginning, that was the main mission, right? The main mission was to create a community that can be compared to the likes of Bitcoin, right? That can be compared to the likes of Ethereum, Shiba, Doge, because all of those great projects, what they had in common is the fact that they had a backing, support, right? Because with crypto, right, you know, you can't really compare it to like a stock, for instance, right? Crypto has to be all community driven, right? Everyone has to be entertained, right? In it completely. So I think that's the best thing about Volt.
Is it a meme coin?
Well, yeah, it
started as a
meme coin.
Yeah, it started like anything, you know, the idea with Volt, the name. Like when I first got involved with Volt, it came out as a Disney doll character, like the Volt dog, right? But the whole point of Volt was because the name was so brandable, where we're creating a brand. You know, you put a lightning bolt in a Gatorade, you put a lightning bolt in shoes. I mean, Volt is so powerful when it comes to brand. You know what I mean? So it started as a meme coin, but it has become a brand.
Yeah.
And you know, we're taking this brand to the world.
That's right.
Does it have real life utility?
I was just going to touch on that. I mean, the meme coin is how it started off, but the vision was to show the world that the power of retail investors, the power of how a community-driven token can take it to multi-million market caps. At the same time, a meme token can have real-life utilities. You know, for example, paying for your Volt tokens using a credit card, right? Whether converting your crypto to fiat back into your bank account is a little bit tedious. You know, it could take some time. But if you can actually swap your Volt tokens to pay for stuff, a month ago I was in NYC and I was paying for stuff all throughout the city, buses, taxis, restaurants, bars, using my Volt tokens, right? Just as a credit card as Apple Pay. So there's a lot of utilities that we can use in real life to pay for stuff. We've partnered up with Amazon, Shopify, shopping.io. So it's been great, yeah, to use in real life.
Thanks so much, guys, for coming in and explaining it. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you, Max.
No problem. I was just trying to do the unmuting there. Yeah, go ahead, Larry.
Let me just do this. Let me say hello to some people here. Some people we haven't said hello to yet. Daniel Delgado is here. And welcome to Crypto Chick, of course, from the Volt Army. Thank you so much. Volt now or cry later. Eddie is back. Thank you for being here. Make sure I didn't miss anybody. XXI Gaming. Aaron Erin L is here. She says, "Let's go Volt." Thank you for being here. Making sure I didn't XXI Gaming. Max, you know I don't rock with dude, but I'm always going to support CTN.
Appreciate that, XXI. Yeah, especially from you. I know your stance on that, but yeah, thank you, man.
I think I've got everybody in here. There's so many great comments coming in. Appreciate you guys dropping them in here. Of course, Salamander in Space is here. Smash the like button. Yes, thank you for that. When will Volt? There's a good question. When's Volt going to be on Coinbase? Does anybody have any ideas? They talk about it being on a tier 1. Is there any rumors about which tier 1 it might be?
This is where I want some of you guys chiming in. Daniel, Wadi. How about this? Let's do Wadi. We haven't heard from you, Wadi, in a while. What do you think about that? Does Volt get on a tier 1 by the end of the year, like Voltoshi was mentioning? Because in my, recollection, if you will, they will.
Honestly speaking, like I told you guys, behind scene, I got out of Volt because of the whole Disney character. But do I regret getting out? Of course. Now I'm back in. But if I would have just held on, held on a little longer, that's all I gotta say. I would have been smiling like crazy. Seeing the advertisement, seeing the power of the community that they have, and seeing how they managed to get on a couple of exchanges already, do I believe a tier 1 exchange is possible? And my opinion only, maybe the first one we're going to start with might be KuCoin. Now, if KuCoin accepts it, Crypto.com is going to accept it. And if Crypto.com accepts it, then there's a chance that Binance and everything else. Not financial advice, like I always say, this is solely my opinion only. And just remember when they got listed, when Shiba Inu got listed on those exchange, it didn't even took a week when it started going off big time. So that's the expectation that I have for both.
Sounds good. Before we kick it into Daniel real quick, Daniel, I know you want to say something right there, and I appreciate it. We do got to recognize the face of Volt, Pablo Crow in the house with a $10 super chat. Thank you so much, Pablo, for showing up here tonight, dropping the $10 super chat. He says, Volt is the voice of the retail investor. Poloniex is listing on the 9th. I did hear about the whole thing in regards to Poloniex and so on. I think it's big. But you know what? How about this? I will give a shout out to, for instance, Jake Gayton. He did mention this a few days ago. I think it was like 2 days ago in his 4.5-minute video. And that was basically this, at first, of course, he was like doubting, like a lot of people. Let's face it, you're very optimistic when it comes to, certain meme coins and tokens. Let's face it, we're in this bear market and so on. But he did get a job of pointing this out. And that was basically, Voltoshi mentioned, we're going to be on so many exchanges and so much time. He doubted it. It happened. Like I think we launched to 30. Then the whole talk of we're going to be on, for instance, 100 exchanges by the end of the year. We're already on 90 plus exchanges. Give credit where credit's due. And that's where I literally told Larry, you know what? Here at Crypto Talk now, we may be really focused on the ISOs, and we'll always be focused on that. But you want to know something? You guys know me. I'm really heavily into SHIB, right? I have over 1 billion of the SHIB tokens and so on. I always will be a big fan of SHIB. But I recognize the power of the community. You get that type of power as we speak through the likes of Volt. That's what excites me. And if anything, I would say, and apparently Larry's going with it 100%, even more than I am. And that is the last great meme coin. I get it. It's a lot more than meme coin, but let's face it, Volt Army, you guys are the most passionate community I've seen out there, leaps and bounds ahead. And come on, that NASDAQ interview, Pablo, I'll give you credit, you and your team. We talk about the adoption. You guys are already doing things that no other crypto has done before. The talk of what is crypto, what is DeFi, what is blockchain and all these concepts and so on. I give credit where credit's due. I salute you for that, creating those conversations. It's massive. Thanks again for the $10 super chat. Let's kick it over to Daniel Gayton to chime in on this.
I'll keep it real simple for you. Voltoshi said 100 exchanges by the end of the year, just like you said. We're already at 95. We'll get to 100. Poloniex was huge. Poloniex is like the 26th or 28th biggest exchange according to CoinMarketCap. We will get a tier 1 by the end of the year. And I believe we'll get a second tier 1 in the first quarter of the next year. I believe that's how fast they're going to come. Somebody asked when Coinbase. The simple answer to that is Coinbase will come when it's right for Coinbase to be rolled out. There was a letter that Voltoshi put out, and he listed Binance and Coinbase and KuCoin and all these guys. And it was just a couple of days ago. And he very clearly said, we will be on all the tier 1 exchanges. It's just a matter of time, and you have to work your way up to the tier 1s. Poloniex being as high up on the ranking scale as they were, I believe that they're working their way up to that ladder. And the next listing probably will be, a tier 1, the next big listing. I believe that by the end of the year, we'll have that listing. Most tier 1s want to see utility. The Volti changes your utility that now you can go sell to the tier 1s. So I think it was important how they rolled it out. I think they rolled it out the right way. I think that there was a plan the whole time of exactly what utility needed to come out when in order to get them to where they needed to go. So there's no doubt. I believe that you'll see a tier 1 by the end of the year, and I think you'll see a second tier 1 in the first quarter of 2023.
Let me just say real quick, thank you to Pablo Crow. Appreciate you being here, and thank you so much for the super chat. I mean, I really meant what I said when I said it's going to be the last. I think it is going to be the last great meme coin. I know they don't like to refer themselves as a meme. It started as a meme, but I think they can kind of wear it as a badge of honor. I don't think there's going to be anybody else after that's going to be able to follow that type of blueprint, starting out as a meme and then going into a bunch of stuff. Amazing marketing, a bunch of utility. It's got a bright future. It's not 2021 anymore. It's going to go into 2023, and it's going to be Doge, Shiba Inu, and Volt. I mean, they're going to be in the same conversation. That's my prediction. So I'll let somebody else chime in here.
If you miss the sheep ride, don't miss the ride twice.
Yep.
That's all I can tell you. And that's not financial advice, but
that's well put. I like that. That's a good one.
So let's say hello to a few more people here. I just don't want to miss anybody. Somebody new here. KC, thank you for being here. Thanks for sharing Volt content. So just like and subscribe. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, KC. We do appreciate that. Thank you.
The love is pouring out from the Volt community, the Volt army. So I appreciate that. Hopefully I said hello to Alpha Lion Crypto. Thank you for being here. And
that's one of your, was that Wadi? Sorry.
No, I'm saying he did earlier.
Oh, he did. Okay, cool. I think I got everybody in there, but yeah, we appreciate all you guys being here. And let's kick it back to Max and figure out what else we want to talk about here.
Well, I know we're recognizing a few more people and so on. I mean, we just really appreciate the love from everybody and so on. And guys, I mean, I'll be honest. I mean, I have not invested into the quote unquote, meme related token coin. I think believe it or not, I think if anything, it might've been Volt right around the beginning of the year, back when it was a V1 and so on. I did put in the process of getting to the V2, but every now and then we'll have somebody, whether it's either from the Doge Lamar's community, some other communities and so on. And, the common thing, especially with their community and so on, is basically that. It's basically having a passionate community. But where Volt takes the cake is, oh my gosh, you guys trend. We've said this here, at least I have multiple times, and that is what I refer to, and it's going to be a slogan someday, I swear. And that is basically the crypto trifecta, right? Do you have the supply? Is there demand? And is it trending? And that's the thing about Volt. It actually trends something fierce. I looked this up myself. Okay, hear me out on this, right? So as a content creator, Pablo probably knows about this, itself in the analytics, right? So when you do the hashtag, for instance, Volt, or you do hashtag Volt Army, it literally says on YouTube, right? Something like 60 tweets an hour, if you will. it's something else. And when you type in other hashtags for other communities, you don't see that. And so to me, that's is I would say basically the crypto trifecta. There is no denying this particular community. And shout out, of course, to Shiba Inu. If it wasn't for SHIB, I wouldn't even be here right now. You guys know the story. It turned 8K into 88K. It didn't become a multi-millionaire or anything like that. But that was, that got me the bug, if you will. First it was Doge 300 into 22K. I got bit by the crypto bug, and I see that happening again with the likes of Volt. I see this where it's going to go to new all-time highs. And everybody, there's a lot of people talking about Volt right now. I think if anything, it's even that much more, to say the least. It just, man, you guys done so much in roughly like close to a year, if that, and so on. I think it's massive. And again, just one last time, I mean, yeah, we're going to cover the likes of the ISOs and so on, but you know what? We're going to be covering Volt more often here. I'll tell you that much.
Well, SHIB dropped how many zeros in the last run? I think it was 6. Did they drop 6 zeros?
They started at 10 zeros and they went all the way to 4 zeros at all-time highs. So,
we got some clarification here. Pablo says we are proudly a meme coin. You will see 3 meme coins in the top 10: Doge, SHIB, and Volt. So that's good. I mean, I'm glad that they're, because sometimes a meme coin, meme token has a negative connotation, but I don't think so. I think, it just depends on how it turned out. It could start out
right,
sort of humble beginnings as a meme token, coin, whatever, and then blossom into something really great. So I think it's a cool thing to say that it's a meme coin. And that's why I'm saying it's the last great one, because I don't think anybody else can follow that blueprint. I really don't think so.
Well, and I agree with you 100%, Larry. I think that Volt is it. Volt's the last one that's going to follow that blueprint. And I don't think that anybody else is going to be able to follow it. I don't think that the market's going to allow anybody else to follow it either. That blueprint's so hard to follow. And just imagine the holders of Volt now, and then imagine the holders in a bull run, right? And how just the ETH price will move that price up, right? And then the holders, the money that's coming in, and the influx of money. And like you said, when you look on Twitter and you see Volt trending every day, and you get new people coming into crypto, that's what they're seeing every day. So, if you put something, in front of somebody's face so many times, they're going to take a look at it, right? So, these are all important things. And the trifecta, the way that you broke that trifecta down is probably the perfect way to break it down. But, I think Pablo's right. You're going to see the 3 meme coins. You're going to see Shiba, Doge, and Volt, and that's all you're going to see. That's all.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, Daniel. Literally, that's what I was telling Larry. I said, I'm really excited about Volt because, if anything, that's why I originally got into Shiba Inu. I mean, for me, I'm a school teacher. We don't make much money, and I went all in on SHIB. I mean, it might not sound like, for instance, $8,000 is a lot of money, but for a school teacher, especially living in a state that's second worst in the nation for teacher wages, yeah, it was a lot for me. And I'm looking at Volt from that perspective. So I have a few on my short list, if you will. Of course, some of the ISOs, XRP, XLM, Quant. I want to, reach some of my goals. But for me personally, I'll be honest with you guys. I originally put $100 into Volt, right, earlier in the year, and so on. I thought, why not? I'm at the point right now. I'm looking at it not just from like, oh, okay, this is money I can lose. I'm looking at it from right now as, for me personally, not financial advice to you guys, but for me personally, I'm looking at like, I need to do similar to what I did with the likes of, for instance, SHIB. I can't do, of course, like, for instance, 8K at this particular time, but I'm looking at it anywhere from, I'll put it this way, something definitely significant. I might even put like $1,000 or more into the likes of Volt, because the community is trending something fierce all the time, and there is just no denying that. And then that NASDAQ thing, I'll just be honest, Pablo, if you're still watching, that NASDAQ interview, that was the icing on the cake for me. And I know I'm not the only one that feels that way.
I'm equally invested in Volt on the Ethereum and BNB side. I literally, when I buy on the ETH side, I buy on the BNB side as well. I'm invested equally in both. Just because.
Oh no, go ahead, Daniel.
Just because I just think that it's important for me to do that, and that's just the way I invest. Not financial advice, but I'm just equally invested on both sides, and they run almost parallel.
That's awesome. That's good feedback. You know, especially somebody who just joined. Yeah.
I'm invested on an exchange, so I don't know if it's ETH side or the BNB side. But the one thing is that I'm holding on to it because in the long run, like I said, people, well, you got to take into consideration they've been building on a bear market and they've been doing good. I mean, the other day, it literally 2x from where it was sitting at. And now that I'm seeing it going back down, like I'm not even stressing it. What I'm thinking of doing is just adding more to my bag. Because now imagine when a bull market comes in, then like I said, SHIB, I mean, I have a beautiful story with SHIB. SHIB got me my first family vacation, you know, where I was able to rent a nice Airbnb and everything, pay for the plane tickets and everything. So what I'm expecting from both is the same thing, except this time it's gonna be way better, in my opinion, because at least, you know, with shit, the reason why so many people it's a little bit doubtful on shit is because they got so many tokens. But so far that I know of, both is only one token and it's the only token of the ecosystem. So I feel like that's gonna do way better than what SHIB ever did.
I think both would do great personally. You know, I always keep up with SHIB, and so I'm not to downplay what you're saying, my friend. I totally get what you're saying. My thing is look out for 2023 in regards to SHIB. Massive, massive burns. I know we've talked about burns that have happened this year, but for 2023 going on, if you look more into it, maybe I'll do a recorded video on it. Even though we don't really get a lot of love on the SHIB, SHIB's so saturated for content creators. Like we cover bone, get a little more receptions, more of a niche, if you will. I'm sure you guys realize that yourselves. But yeah, when it comes to SHIB and the burns, there's going to be huge, massive burns, to say the least, coming up in 2023. And if anything, I look at that combined with, you know, for instance, having Shibarium come along finally and so on. I think there's a lot to be said still for SHIB. Their story is not done. And if anything, shout out again to Volt for there's stories continuing, there's trending and so on. Literally, that's the way I look at it. Doge, SHIB, Volt. Those are my top three. I mean, that's unbelievable to say that. If you think about the origins of Volt and where we're at and so on. I think we turn this basically into unofficial AMA for Volt, but that's okay. Yeah, that's okay.
No, that's good.
There's nobody else. There's nobody else. There's nobody else. It's Doge, SHIB, and Volt. Who else in the meme coin is making that run? There's nobody else.
Right. Larry, you want to chime in?
I
think you were about ready to say something, my friend. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, no, I was just going to kind of plug these guys again, and we'll try to wrap things up. We're going to be back again tomorrow night at 9 p.m. But once again, if you guys haven't subscribed to Wadi the Crypto Hunter, he's right here in the middle of your screen, and you can check him out. And then also a thank you to Wadi and thank you to Daniel Gayton. He's right here. So both talk about Volt, and so the Max and I. But we got another one here. Thank you so much to. Let's put a couple more comments on the screen first, and thank you so much to Crypto Chick for the $20 donation about Volt. Let's give him a little more time because we just got that super chat. So any other thoughts? Anybody want to chime in on Volt? I will say one thing. I'll lead with this.
Sure.
The thing that impressed me with Volt, when Pablo Crow came on the show a few months back, I invited him on. It was a great show. We talked about Volt a lot. And he said, Larry, just hang on with the website. Go over and check out the link tree. When I looked at the link tree, I was like really blown away. It was the first I saw it was on the live show, here. And I was like, it was like influencer after influencer and, you know, celebrity after celebrity, as far as, you know, people like fighters and stuff like that, MMA guys. And I was impressed with the amount of partnerships that they had.
Yeah.
Amazing, amazing stuff. That's what really stands out to me with Volt is the people. So the people in terms of good people promoting it, like Pablo Crow, a bunch of other people. I don't want to leave anybody out. So I'll just say Pablo Crow and a bunch of other YouTubers, Twitter personalities. And then you have the people connected from a marketing standpoint, the celebrities, the fighters. And then you have the people for the community, which is probably the most important thing. All the people that are in the chat right now, right? All these people that are here, Crypto Chick, Alpha Lion Crypto, everybody here that's part of the Volt army. That is what is making this thing push to new heights. By the way, 31 people in here. If you guys hit the like button, but let's also recognize, thank you to Alpha Lion for the $10 donation. What stands out in your mind? So we talked about community. Hopefully I didn't steal all your guys' thunder. Is there anything else that I left out that stands out in your mind? What's going to make it part of the big three for meme coins?
I'm just gonna say something real quick. Of course, I want to definitely allow other people to talk. Daniel, especially Daniel and Wadi, especially. And again, thank you so much to you guys for the super chats. Everybody, Crypto Chick, the last one we just got, and so on. Really appreciate it, especially Selmo Fudd.
One more too.
Selmo Fudd. Thank you so much for being the OG
Selmo
of OG.
Fudd. Thank you so much.
Yeah, being the OG of OG, Selmo. Really, really appreciate you as always. But what's going to state is this, long before I joined up with Larry here at Crypto Talk now, right? So I've been with Larry since, as Larry refers to, April 18th. Before that, as you guys know, and by the way, my 1-year anniversary as a content creator for specifically crypto, I believe is on December 13th. I had to double check that. But long before I joined Larry, from December to roughly, April 18th, I was just MaximusCrypto, right? Covering various different cryptos I felt as though flew on the radar. I did do, I believe, about 5 or 6 videos on Volt. So, I'm not just hopping on the bandwagon just to hop on the bandwagon. I recognized it back then. And I said to myself, you know what, this is what I wanted to cover. And even back then, I'll give a shout out again to the Volt Army. I did get a little love from you guys, and I think that's the key thing. Like Volt, it is all about community, truly all about community. How do we know that? Just go after like quote unquote top influencers, if you will. The way they look at it is we're all community, no matter what your walk of life is, no matter if you're a content creator that only has, for instance, 1 subscriber or no subscribers or wherever the case be. When you guys say that you're volted, you literally come in and you volt, for instance, a live stream. You come in, for instance, and recorded videos, Twitter spaces, you name it. And that's what really excites me, to say the least, because if anything, it's like Shiba Inu, but like more, I hate to use this term, but might as well. I don't really hate it. You're more volted. You're volting everything. You're killing it. So that's the way I look at it. I definitely want to hear from Wadi and Daniel to definitely, chime in a little bit more in that regard to answer Larry's question. And thanks again, everybody who's here tonight and so on. I know this turned into basically the Volt show, but rightfully so. Give credit where credit's due.
I don't know. Well, as far as me, like I said, I seen what they've been doing. I see that the community is really strong. They stick together no matter what. They support each other. They help one another. And they're doing all the right things, in my opinion. The marketing is great. I mean, like I said, as far if you want to look compared to other meme coins and you look at boats and you ask yourself, where's this coin at? It didn't make it nowhere. Where's this coin at? It didn't make it nowhere. They all were talking about being the next Shiba Inu, but where are they now? They're nowhere. Bolt, on the other hand, has been the only token that I remember of when there was like, I don't want to name the projects, because I don't want to cause problem either in your channel. But when I remember, it was XYZ Boat, and they all were claiming that they're going to be the next ship. At the end of the day, those projects are nowhere near, but Boat is still standing strong. They're still doing their thing. They still have shown the exchange listing one after the other. So, in my opinion, and like you said earlier, that cherry on top, as we say, was the whole NASDAQ interview, which we seen a previous NASDAQ interview from another project, which was nothing comparing to.
Yeah, I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, the other one.
Oh, I
And
clearly
that-
know the one he's
that's
talking
all I gotta
about. We're clearly talking about Mononoke Inu here. I mean, come on, you guys. I mean, clearly that's the one. I mean, let's not beat around the bush at all. No, I'm kidding.
You know, with me involved, you know, when I look at projects, I evaluate them on a couple different levels. What's the community look like? Are the devs delivering what they say they're going to deliver in the timeframes that they're going to deliver in? And is what they're delivering going to be beneficial to the space, right? And Volt checks off all them boxes for me. And the community is unbelievable. Some of the Volti change, I believe, is absolutely a great swap and a great innovation because it's not just a swap. Max, you can respect this, that there's going to be limit orders on there. So, you know,
True.
name me a DEX that has limit orders on it. You know, that's free. Let's just put it like
You're
that.
bringing
That's
up some, you know, yeah, you're bringing up some hot topics. Great discussion here, if anything, especially somebody that's just coming into this. I really like that you're pointing that out.
So, you know, these are the things that I look at in a project, and I say to myself, do the devs deliver, right? Ultimately, that's the big question. And Voltoshi has done nothing. Voltoshi and everybody else that's working behind the scenes, and I don't know who they are, and I don't know how many of them they are, but I don't believe that one man could pull this off himself, or one woman, right? So I think there's probably a team working behind, but the team that's working behind Volt has delivered on every single thing that they said that they're going to deliver on in the time.
They have.
So
that gives me a great opportunity. I want to mention this. I know that this is extended coverage, if you will, from the unofficial Volt show, if you will, overtime, right? With Max, Larry, Wadi, and Daniel Gayton. And guys, you know, if you're just tuning in, and right now, of course, we want to go ahead and thank you for doing just that. Especially shout out, of course, to the Volt Army, Pablo Crow, the rest of you guys, and so on. We were going to talk about this earlier. We're going to talk about right now here briefly. We did mention the whole thing. I don't know if you guys remember. I said, you know, let's watch this particular interview from NASDAQ. And on top of that, let's talk about the whole, you know, Voltoshi thing. So let's get back to that for just a moment. You know, again, in that 4.5-minute video from about a couple days ago, you know, Jake Gayton did a really good job at covering this key thing. And if anything, I want us to go ahead and pound it home a little bit more. I think you guys will be on par for this particular statement. And that is this, you know, think about the concept of, you know, Satoshi Nakamoto's white paper with Bitcoin, right? So, you know, nobody knows who Satoshi is. And of course, there's been even billionaires. I'm not a big fan of, you know, Daniel Payne. You guys know that and so on. I just think he's a little bit too far, I don't know, drunken sailor, if you will, but to each his own. But he pointed out, for instance, that when it comes to the likes of Bitcoin, if we knew who was the face of Bitcoin, like he says, you know, the thing could crash to zero. Well, in reality, let's face it, Bitcoin's never crashing to zero because if anything, people forgot their seed phrases and, you know what I mean, all that stuff, right? Lost wallet, you get it, right?
Well,
so in reality, right, it's not, yeah, exactly. It's not exactly going to be zero. It's just kind of like Luna Classic, you know, 0 point, you know, multiple zeros and a 1 isn't zero, you know, 0 is 0. So let's end that particular debate. But if anything, Jake Gayton pointing this out, and my thing is, it was a great analysis that he did, because here's the thing. It's like, okay, Bitcoin, that worked out, right? Not having a real face behind that particular, you know, the white paper and so on. No one still knows. We're all speculative. Some people, I'm sure some people here would be like, oh, I know, it's this one guy, or actually Satoshi technically passed away. There's tons of different conspiracies or debates and so on. But then shift your focus to this, right? We're talking about meme coins and so on. So my thing is, you guys know my SHIB background, right? So I'm thinking also, okay, well, what about Mr. Kusama, right? Technically, nobody knows officially who he is. Some people think he's a combination of Elon Musk with, for instance, Vitalik Buterin. Nobody really knows. But here's the other thing. We always talk about, for instance, the standard nowadays should be if you have a new meme token project, ERC20 token, and so on, that you basically need to be doxxed. Larry's pointing that out as well, and so on. I think there's exceptions. Jake did a very good job explaining that there is exceptions. Volt is definitely in that conversation as being that exception. First Bitcoin, then Shiba Inu, and now with Volt. How do we know this? When you're able to be a person in which you don't have a face, your face is your community, if you will, right? Like Pablo Crow, so on, right? He's the face of Volt. Well, Voltoshi is delivered time and time again. You know, that's another thing in itself. So it's like, if anybody tries to FUD Volt or bring up dirt on him by like, well, you know, this Voltoshi guy, he's technically the CEO, and you know, oh, here I found out something about back in 1968 when he was at this particular rally, he did this. You know, you ain't gonna have any of that nonsense. And we live in a day, in an era where that crap definitely goes on. Let's be honest, right? So my thing is, these are some positive things, because if anything, he says this is what we're going to do 100 exchanges by the end of the year. One of the ladies, I think in the comments even posted, we're at 97. When I think of all the things that Volt has done from the, let's face it, probably the beginning of the year to now, they have delivered. And that's why I'm completely on board. And you guys know me, I don't really want to talk about meme coins. I want to talk about things with, you know, utility, the quants, the XRPs and so on. But, you know, man, what a community, to say the least. All right, back to you guys. I know I took over a little bit too much on that one, but let's talk about the Voltoshi thing. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll take it, and then Wadi can take it. And Wadi knows this about me because we've talked about this. I hold 3 what I call low market cap tokens in my wallet. Everything else is blue chip, and that's it, right? So I'm with you, Max. I don't usually hold on to a lot of these lower market cap tokens. But as far as Voltoshi goes, here's the thing. And I look at it like this. A new project that launches that doesn't have a docs dev, I'm probably not going to ape into it, right? But a project that doesn't have docs devs that continually delivers is a project that I'll invest in, because it doesn't really matter who you are. At the end of the day, if you're delivering and you have delivered and you've proven that you can deliver, then it doesn't matter who you are, right? Because in this space, there's been people that looked you in your face and rugged you, and there's been people that are not doctors that rugged you, right?
Preach it, brother. Preach it. Yeah.
Or people that overpromise and underdeliver. you know where they are.
Yeah, we know where you're going with that. We all know where you're going with that.
I mean, literally, there's.
I'm not going to say the project. Yeah.
There's some devs in this space that you know exactly where they live, exactly who they are, and exactly what they've done, and they're slow rugged or just straight up rugged you, right?
Right.
And then there's some that you don't know that have rugged you. There's some that you don't know that have taken a project straight to the moon, and there's some that you don't know that have not taken a project to the moon. So at the end of the day, I guess what I'm saying to you is, does it really matter? Because either way, you're taking a chance. You're taking a chance on a project. You're taking a chance on a new project. You're taking a chance on a new team. You're taking that chance.
It's all a chance. I would say this, right? I still think it matters, but the whole thing with Volt, they've already proven, like you mentioned, that it might not matter because of the background and how they delivered and so on.
And that's what I was going to say too, Max, to follow up on that. But if the devs have delivered, and I might have already said it, if the devs have delivered, does it really matter? It doesn't matter at that point whether they're doxed or not. If they're delivering on their promise, to me, it doesn't matter.
That's what I was gonna say. You know, somebody said, Crypto Chick said, ship developer is not docs. That's true. The other developer, it's Bitcoin. Nobody knows who he is. Now, when it comes to boats, he's not docs, but it's okay. He has been delivering on every promise. That's perfectly fine by me. And if you see other project that we all been in it, and they're 100% docs, And I'm like, okay, what happened? You know, I thought the whole doxing thing was supposed to keep people from doing scams or rug pulls. And no, I mean, majority of these tokens, they claim they will revive in the bull market. But let's be serious, people. You know, once a token loses the trust of the investors, there's no way that token is going to revive. I don't know if you guys agree with me, but that's just that. That's what I noticed in crypto. So, like you said earlier, it doesn't matter if they're docs or not. No, what matters is what are their true intentions and how are they saying their true intention? Well, by keeping the word, by continuously doing what they say they were gonna do. First of all, keep in mind, people, exchange listing is not cheap. So if you see a project going on 97 exchanges, is because they have, or at least in my opinion, you know, is because they have intention of staying in here in the long run, long term. That's what I gotta say on that.
And what do you have to do to get listed on an exchange? You have to KYC with the exchange.
Yep.
So Votoshi is KYC'd 97 times.
Yeah, they're reinvesting in themselves. They're reinvesting in the token, the business, everything.
That's a great point that Daniel just brought up. You know, if anything, if somebody wants a KYC, I mean, you know, maybe some people would be like, well, money is what talks, right? So of course, you know, they're exchanges, they want money and so on, but there is something to be said about 97 times or hitting this 100 year at the end of the year. If anything, I think they do get to the tier 1, and that would be like a great Christmas present, especially to the entire Volt army. Yeah.
Oh, baby.
Let's say hello to a few people here. I don't want to miss out these people, new people here. Big watch dude. He's a big watch dude. He's got a big watch, apparently. Thank you for being here. Virtual citizen. Buy quant. Do your best to get at least 35 to 50 tokens.
Man, that's a great goal.
Cody Core.
That's a great goal. Thank you so much, Virtual Citizen.
Cody Core is in the house. And here's another one from the Volt Army. Carlos V. He's vaulted, and he's vaulting us. Thank you for being here. And yeah, so I think we've got everybody here. Make sure we said hello to everybody. I'm just looking at the comments. Okay, I think we've got everybody here.
Yeah, it's been a great show. I mean, I know that you said you want to probably go ahead and wrap things up here in a little bit. How about this though? Before you guys, you know, file out and whatnot, how about this? Especially the Volt Army, show some Volt community love by, for instance, going to these particular two channels and so on. Daniel Gayton covers Volt quite a bit. You know, for instance, Wadi is into Volt and so on. If we can, I'm gonna go ahead and while Larry is going through the comments and so on, I'm going to do a plug, is Larry would refer to it, in regards to these particular gentlemen's channels. I'm going to start off with Wadi, for instance. Wadi the Crypto Hunter. I'm going to bring his up right now. Give me just a second. And let's see here. So yeah, there's Wadi right here. Or if you just want to type in at Wadi the Crypto Hunter, all one word, you can go to his particular page and so on. He's got, for instance, videos, shorts, live. He does a pretty much a live show pretty darn often from what I've seen and so on. So, you know.
Yeah, if you look in the bottom, scroll down, I have an episode exclusively, there you go, with Space Check. That's the whole for the whole army.
Awesome. Yep. Glad to see it. You know, he also covers, for instance, you know, MetaMonkey AI. He covers, you know, for instance, he has poker nights and so on. But I mean, yeah, show this brother some love. Give him a subscription, especially, you know, those who were volted. Let's volt the heck out of Volt. Almost said Volty. Wadi, Volty. Wow. Anyway, but yes, Wadi, the Crypto Hunter. And on top of that, while you guys are at it, try to go, for instance, over to Daniel Gayton's. I'm going to pull that up as well. Here he is right here. And he's done a lot of shorts, for instance. And on top of that, he recently did, like myself, I cover the ISOs and so on. He's done his, coverage of XDC, XRP, Hedera's HBAR, ALBT. Why are the ISOs so big and how do they work together? Watched earlier today. I critiqued it, but I felt as though that he did a very good job with his particular analysis. But if you're a Volt person, Daniel does definitely cover the likes of Volt. He covers it quite a bit. In fact, I think that's some of his most popular videos, actually. So shout out to you guys in the Volt Army. But yeah, he's got Volt V2 updates. He just posted, I believe, one not that long ago. Let me go back again. Recently updated. So yeah, he posted one about a day ago.
Yeah, about a day ago.
Yeah, so I mean, he continuously does it. Yeah, another one 5 days ago, roughly about 257 views and so on. So I mean, help this brother get that YouTube algorithm going as well. We really, really would appreciate it. Two great content creators here with us. And guys, I'll put this way, and I think Larry will tell you a little bit more about this here shortly. We are looking to do more of this new thing called the Crypto Roundtable with the likes of Daniel Gayton, Wadi, maybe even Shaka or whoever else we're networked with and so on. But I'm gonna kick it back to Larry, unless Wadi, you want to go ahead and chime in a little bit more. Whoever wants to take it.
Well, let me just first thank again Pablo Crow for another donation for a $20 super chat. Great show, gentlemen. Thank you so much to Pablo for your support.
Thanks,
and thank
Pablo.
you to everybody here. Yeah, thank you to everybody here from the Volt Army. We appreciate you all being here, all the ladies and gentlemen that have joined us. It's been a love fest. It's a love fest for everybody here. So it's been a great show, and I just wanted to thank everyone here. And thank you to Wadi and Daniel, of course, Max being here.
Of course, absolutely. Thank you so much to you two for being here, and so on. And thank you too as well, Larry.
Thank you.
Let's start with Daniel. Give him some time to talk and wrap things up, and then we'll finish with Wadi. If you guys want to talk about your channels and what you're talking about, and then we'll wrap things up. We'll be back tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Sure thing. I'm as we talked tonight, I'm Daniel Gayton. I'm a newer YouTube content creator out here. I haven't been out that long. I talk about Volt, about MetaMonkey AI, about some of the ISO coins, do a live pre-market show. I try to do one every morning, probably about 7 a.m., 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. Just talk about the pre-markets, any crypto news, what you can look forward to coming into the day, kind of how to read them pre-markets to see where you're going to be when the market's opened up. So, you can start your day off investing the right way and then let the day play out from there. So, I'm always expanding my channel, but I always cover Volt, MetaMonkey, ISOs, a lot of the FTX stuff and how it affects the markets. I was a stock market guy, came over to the crypto world, so I kind of understand it from both angles. So that's who I am, and what you'll get from me is just the truth. I'm not a fanboy. I'm not going to hype it up if it doesn't need to be hyped up, and I'm not going to tell you anything that I don't believe in. So that's who I am.
All right, go ahead, Wadi.
Awesome.
Well, first, I want to say thank you, Larry, Max. Really appreciate you guys bringing me on. As far as the Bull Army, I appreciate the love and the support. My name is Wadi, also known as Wadi the Crypto Hunter. I started my YouTube channel 6 months ago. Just want to bring out the best of my knowledge. I've been in the crypto market for 5 years. I already know exactly how it works. I try to do some TA on my channel, cover blue chips, cover some of the small cap tokens, and definitely just looking forward to grow within the space. As many of y'all do know, or I don't know if it's obvious, I have a disability, but instead of that being a reason to bring me down and to stop me, is actually the motivation that I have to continue doing what I'm doing, to continue moving forward. And like I said myself, the limitations is basically on your mind, and you decide whether you want to limit yourself or you want to continue moving forward. That's all I got.
All right. Well, that's it then. Thank you guys. It's been a great show. We'll be back again, like I said, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. And this roundtable, hopefully we'll have Daniel and Wadi back if they can fit into their schedule. We'll have maybe 1 or 2 more guys or ladies come join us. Next Wednesday, we'll do it every single Wednesday, a roundtable discussion. Thank you so much, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks, everybody.